Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. Antonov became famous by building aircraft for loads that ordinary cargo planes could not touch. The Ukrainian company inherited a Soviet-era tradition of heavy-lift design, producing machines with wide fuselages, powerful landing gear, nose-loading systems, and ramps built for oversized cargo. The AN-124 Ruslan became one of its greatest achievements. A four-engine giant created to carry military vehicles, helicopters, generators, relief supplies, and industrial equipment across continents. The AN-124 is roughly 226 feet long, with a wingspan of about 240 feet. And its maximum payload is commonly listed around 150 metric tons. Its size is not only in the wings. The aircraft has a cavernous cargo hold, a hinged nose that swings open, a rear ramp, and landing gear that can kneel to change the loading angle. That makes it useful when the cargo is too tall, too heavy, or too awkward for normal airlifters. When a Ukrainian AN-124 delivered 101 tons of humanitarian cargo to Incirlik Air Base after the Turkey earthquakes, the aircraft showed the peaceful side of strategic airlift. Pallets, boxes, and relief material were unloaded by US and Turkish personnel, turning the world's largest operating cargo aircraft into a flying bridge for families in crisis. Heavy lift aviation is often associated with war, but in disaster response it can move tents, food, medical goods, heaters, generators, and shelter materials faster than ships or road convoys. Loading an AN-124 is a full engineering operation. Before cargo moves, teams measure weight, height, center of gravity, tie-down points, and clearance through the nose or rear ramp. The aircraft may lower itself on its landing gear, reducing the ramp angle so vehicles can drive in more safely. Loadmasters guide each movement with hand signals, radios, wheel chocks, and chains. Cargo is not simply parked inside. It must be positioned so the aircraft remains balanced during takeoff, flight, and landing. US Marines use that capability when loading UH-1Y Venom helicopters inside an AN-124 at Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. Helicopters are not easy cargo. Rotor blades, tail sections, sensors, skids, and delicate equipment must be protected before loading. Crews prepare the aircraft by removing or folding components, securing loose parts, and guiding the helicopter slowly up the ramp. Once inside, it is chained down at exact points so it cannot shift during flight. Offloading reverses the entire process, but with the same patience. The aircraft parks, the ramps open, restraints are checked, and the cargo is released only when ground teams are ready. A heavy vehicle or helicopter rolling down the ramp carries enormous weight, so the path must be clear, the surface must support it, and spotters must control every turn. During Exercise Noble Jump 23, an AN-124 arrived at Decimo Manu Air Base in Sardinia, carrying 2 German Tiger attack helicopters for NATO training. The aircraft brought the helicopters from long-distance transport into a deployed exercise environment, where German crews could reassemble and prepare them for operations. That mission showed why the Ruslan remains valuable. It can place specialized combat equipment near a training or crisis area quickly. The Ruslan's wide body also changes how crews think about time on the ground. Large cargo aircraft earn their value only when the ramp operation is planned like a mission. Forklifts, loaders, escorts, fuel trucks, security teams, and mechanics arrive in sequence, not randomly. The aircraft may carry enough cargo to support a whole detachment, but it can also block ramp space and delay other traffic if ground teams are not ready. That is why every AN-124 arrival becomes a coordinated event between aircrew, aerial port personnel, host nation workers, and the unit receiving the load safely from the first parking brake set there. Behind the AN-124 stands the memory of the AN-225 Maria, the only aircraft larger than the Ruslan. Built with 6 engines and a massive wing, the AN-225 became a global symbol of extreme airlift until it was destroyed during Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Its loss reminded the aviation world that these aircraft are not just machines. They are rare national assets. The AN-124 continues that heavy lift legacy, moving cargo that shapes military operations, humanitarian missions, and international exercises. America's answer to extreme airlift is the C-5 Galaxy, later upgraded into the C-5M Super Galaxy. It is one of the largest military aircraft ever built. With a length of about 247 feet and a wingspan of nearly 223 feet. Inside its enormous fuselage, the C-5 can carry tanks, helicopters, trucks, satellites, artillery systems, and pallets across intercontinental distances. Its design allows cargo to enter from the front and rear, making loading faster and more flexible than on many other transport aircraft. The aircraft's nose and tail loading allow planners to build a drive-through flow when conditions permit, reducing congestion around the ramp. A look inside the C-5M reveals a cargo deck that feels more like a hangar than an aircraft cabin. Vehicles can be lined up inside, pallets can be locked into rail systems, and crews can move through the hold to inspect chains, locks, and cargo clearances. Above the cargo area are crew spaces, giving airmen room for long missions that may cross oceans with aerial refueling or multiple stops. One of the aircraft's most unusual features is its kneeling landing gear. The C-5 can lower its fuselage closer to the ground, reducing ramp angles so heavy cargo can be driven or winched aboard more safely. When the aircraft kneels, the nose opens, the ramp lowers, and loadmasters begin the careful process of aligning equipment with the cargo floor. Every inch matters when the item weighs many tons. During Paladin load operations, the C-5 demonstrates why this matters. The M109 Paladin is a tracked, self-propelled howitzer, heavy enough to require strict weight distribution and careful movement. Ground teams guide it toward the ramp, checking track alignment and spacing. Once inside, the vehicle is positioned, chained, and secured so it cannot move during turbulence or landing. The C-5 has also carried some of America's most sensitive scientific cargo. NASA used a C-5C variant to transport the James Webb Space Telescope components during movement from Johnson Space Center to Northrop Grumman. That job required more than raw lifting power. The cargo needed protection from vibration, contamination, and temperature changes. The aircraft became a flying, clean transport link for one of the most important space observatories ever built. At exercises like Red Flag, the C-5's kneeling system supports rapid movement of large equipment in and out of deployed airfields. The process looks slow, but it saves time later by allowing massive cargo to arrive ready for use. Strategic airlift is not only about carrying weight, it is about delivering capability. Whether the cargo is a howitzer, satellite hardware, relief pallet, or support vehicle, the C-5 lets the U.S. move national power without waiting for a ship. Together with the AN-124, the Galaxy shows the very extremes of cargo aviation. These aircraft turn runways into temporary ports, making it possible to send heavy equipment across the planet in days instead of weeks. Their size is impressive, but their real value is measured when the ramp drops and a mission rolls out. The journey to these giants of the air began with a far smaller machine at Kitty Hawk. In 1903, the Wright brothers made the first powered, controlled, sustained flight in an aircraft heavier than air. Their airplane flew only a short distance by modern standards, but it proved that humans could control a powered aircraft in 3 axes: pitch, roll, and yaw. That breakthrough opened the path to every transport, fighter, helicopter, and cargo aircraft that followed. Early aircraft were fragile, light, and limited. They carried little more than the pilot and a small engine. Over time, stronger materials, better engines, larger wings, and improved control systems allowed aircraft to carry passengers, mail, bombs, vehicles, and eventually entire military units. The idea of airlift grew from short hops into global mobility. Vertical flight added another revolution. Helicopters became the first truly practical vertical takeoff aircraft, lifting straight up without a runway and landing in small areas where fixed-wing aircraft could not operate. Their ability to hover, rescue people, move troops, and deliver supplies changed military and civilian aviation. A helicopter could reach a mountain, ship deck, jungle clearing, or disaster zone where a cargo plane could never land. Short takeoff and landing aircraft pushed the same idea in a different direction. The Piper J3 Cub became famous as a simple, light aircraft able to operate from short and rough strips. It was not a heavy lifter, but it represented a key lesson. Useful aviation is not always about speed or size. Sometimes the most important ability is getting in and out of places where normal aircraft cannot work. Military engineers later pushed short field performance to extremes with Operation Credible Sport. JATO rockets and other modifications gave the Hercules a dramatic burst of lift and braking power. But the program also showed how dangerous it can be to force a large aircraft into spaces never designed for it. These experiments connect directly to modern cargo giants. The Wright brothers proved control. Helicopters proved vertical lift. STOL aircraft provided access to short fields. Rocket-assisted tests proved how far engineers were willing to go to deliver people and equipment where they were needed. The AN-124 and C-5 represent another branch of the same story. Instead of landing in tiny spaces, they carry enormous loads over global distances. Aviation has always pushed beyond distance. Whether moving aid, helicopters, artillery, or space equipment, the purpose remains unchanged. Once the aircraft parks and the ramp lowers, this marvelous human invention built to conquer the skies becomes real power even on the ground. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.